Hello, my gorgeous ones. Welcome to Alicia Budget Beauty. My name is Alicia. Here on my channel, I love all things affordable fashion, beauty, fragrance. I do hauls, tutorials, reviews, all sorts of fun stuff. So if that sounds good to you, please subscribe, stick around, be a friend. All right, you guys, I have 4 finery fragrances from Target in my collection now. And I've been testing them for a little bit, and 3 of these are brand new. 1 of them is not so new, but I wanted to give you my thoughts on these and how I think they compare to the dupes. There is 1 in here that I am not a fan of at all, and 3 that I think are really, really good. So if you want to hear my thoughts on these affordable fragrances from Target, keep on watching. Now, if you don't happen to know what finery is, I'll tell you real quick. It is a dupe fragrance brand at Target. And yes, they are meant to be dupes of some of the high-end expensive fragrances out there. So just to give a chance for an everyday person who doesn't want to drop anywhere from $100 to, $300 on a fragrance, they can get them for much cheaper. The ones that I have are the PERFUMEs, and they are $29.99. I happen to have a whole bunch of Target gift cards that I was holding on to forever. I didn't really want to go spend it on like clothing there or makeup. I didn't really need either. And then it finally clicked. I was like, girl, go spend your gift cards on fragrances. So that is what I did. Now I am going to start with the one that I do not like at all. And this is a newer one. This is Mystic Figures. Now, I was pretty excited about this because I've grown to like fig in some fragrances. However, I have also smelled fig in some fragrances that I don't always like. It can be a very green, almost like a bitter sort of fragrance, but people that like a really like green fragrance or like an earthy fragrance will like it a lot of the times. So I thought, okay, it's got fig in there. I'm starting to like some fig. It also has ocean air and salted sage. I have a few fragrances here recently that have sage in it that I really appreciate and like as well. I like salt in a fragrance. So I thought, you know what? That sounds easy, breezy. It sounds like summertime. It sounds like effortless. You guys, this straight up stinks. Like, it is not good at all. It is so bitter and like harsh and just unpleasant. I don't like it at all. I have my girl Sarah from Instagram is a big fig lover, and typically if I have smelled fig in something and I'm like, well, it's not necessarily for me, but I really think she will like this and enjoy it. I can see how someone would enjoy this. I'll recommend it to her. I'll let her know. I don't even think I would send this to her. It's that bad. It's not good. If you love this, more power to you. I don't even, it definitely leans a little bit more masculine. It's unisex, but it leads more masculine, but I don't even want to smell this on my husband. I do not like it. This is the only one that I'm not sure what it's supposed to be a dupe for. I looked it up and it was saying missing person from Phlur, but then when I looked up those notes, they aren't anywhere near this, so I'm confused by that. All I know is that this is a big fail of one for me. It was only $30, and then I had the gift card, so not a big deal, but I cannot recommend this one at all. Luckily, the next 3 I definitely can. All right, so next up, this is probably my least favorite of the 3 that I like, but I do like this one. This is Midnight Cafe, and it is supposed to be a dupe for Black Opium. Now, I do have a Black Opium. I've got several Black Opium samples actually. And then funny enough, little backstory, I used to think I did not like Black Opium at all. And years went by, I got a sample from Sephora, sprayed it on, and I was like, oh, it's been years. And I was like, oh, this is really pleasant. This is a coffee, vanilla, patchouli, cedarwood scent with jasmine in the Black Opium. and it was really, really pleasant. So I decided I really wanted a bottle. I've always thought that the bottle itself was really, really beautiful. So I hopped on Mercari because I'm like, this is a very popular fragrance. Like that's something I could absolutely find on Mercari cheaper. I don't know what I was thinking. When I found it, I found a really good price on it and I pulled the trigger, ordered it. Whenever it came, as soon as I saw it, I knew I ordered the extrait version, the intense. I did not order the regular parfum, and eesh, they are not the same. The extrait is very, very strong and bitter, almost like black coffee grounds instead of like a smooth coffee. I did not like it at all. So I decluttered it and I went back to smell the sample that I had, and it did not smell the same anymore. It's like it had gone bad. It was more patchouli heavy. I couldn't really get any of the vanilla in it anymore. It didn't even have like a sweetness to it. So I kind of just wrote it off and decided maybe I don't like Black Opium. But then when I wanted to try, this is my first finery that I got, I read the notes and I didn't realize at the time that this was a dupe brand. And I thought, okay, this has, let me look down here real quick to get it right. This has Creme de Cafe, Jasmine, and, Jasmine Absolute and Patchouli. Now, patchouli and I aren't always friends, but if it's blended correctly, nicely, if it's a clean patchouli, I really enjoy it. So I decided to go ahead and order it. I was like, ooh, that sounds nice. Like a nice little coffee scent, you know, during the winter. So this comes forewarning for you guys. My first spray of this smelled like a dirty diaper, like a full, heavy, saggy, poopy diaper. I'm not even kidding. And I was like, oh shoot, that is disgusting and that is a big fail. Then it settled down, the poopiness wore off, and I was like, oh, this is Black Opium. But the Black Opium that I remembered from that sample when I thought that I enjoyed it. And I was like, well, let me just make sure this doesn't go bad the next couple of times I wear it. Thankfully, the second time I wore it, it didn't open up as a poopy diaper. It just opened up as that beautiful coffee, sort of vanilla. What's interesting is the finery fragrances all only list 3 notes. There's definitely more notes in them than they list, because I will tell you, this is a spot on dupe. And so are the next 2 for the other fragrances. There's got to be more in it than just 3 notes, because I definitely get vanilla in this. I get the jasmine, I get the patchouli. I also get some sort of woodiness from this and like a touch of the vanilla. It's definitely patchouli, coffee heavy for sure, but I enjoy it. It's not my favorite of these 3, but I do enjoy it. And if you have always wanted Black Opium, but you would rather have something for 30 bucks, then I would recommend it. All right, you guys, next up we have the new Rouge. This one's pretty obvious that it was supposed to be a dupe for Baccarat Rouge 540. If you don't know that fragrance, it is the most duped fragrance I think that there is. I mean, countless dupes. Now, a lot of them are not spot on dupes. For instance, Ariana Grande's Cloud or Cloud Intense is not a dupe for Baccarat 540. You will hear people say that it is. If you hop on TikTok, people are like, it smells just like it. It is similar. It has a similar DNA to it, but when you smell them side by side, and back here I do have Cloud and I have Cloud Intense. I also have a sample of Baccarat 540 Rouge. I don't have a bottle of it because it's way too expensive. And honestly, there's so many dupes or inspired bys out there that I don't need the original. This, I smelt it next to the Baccarat. I smelled it next to the Cloud and Cloud Intense. And this is almost identical to the Baccarat Rouge. It is so So close. So in this one, what they say is in it is golden saffron, amber resin, and sandalwood. Now in Baccarat, it's saffron, jasmine, amberwood, fir resin, ambergris, and cedar. So there are similar notes, but they only list 3 in this. I'm sure that the rest are really close to the Baccarat because, I mean, you guys, it just smells almost identical. Now, wear time on these, not the longest, but you know, they are only $30 and I get about a 4-hour wear out of these. So on clothing, it can stretch a little bit more. If I really, really douse my clothing, I'd say I get about 6. But on the skin, about 4 hours wear. So just keep that in mind. But I think this is a very, very worthy dupe for Baccarat. And if you've always wanted that and you didn't want to spend the money, if there's something about Cloud that you don't like, if you don't like the muskiness or like the marshmallow to it, if you don't like, you know, some people pick up that medicinal smell in it, then I would definitely recommend the New Rouge. All right, the one that I would say is probably my favorite out of the 4 that I have is Pistachio Please. So I think when everyone first saw this, they were like, this is probably going to be a dupe for Kayali, you know, Pistachio Gelato. It's not. This is actually supposed to be a dupe for Sol de Janeiro Cheriosa 62. Now, I do have another video planned where I compare several inspired by or dupes of the Sol de Janeiro. This is one of them. I have 2 other ones, so I will tell you which one I think is closest to it in that other video. But I'll tell you about what is in this one, at least the notes that they do list in here. They list pistachio, milk, tonka bean, and fluffy vanilla. So I do have the spray of Cheriosa 62. I also have the bronzing cream or like body bronzer. So I'm very familiar with that smell. I mean, as soon as I smell this, I'm like, oh yeah, that's obviously what it's trying to be a dupe of. Now, I will say in the air, you almost cannot tell a difference between the 2. But up close, there are a few differences. I don't think this is as spot on as the Baccarat or maybe even as close as the Black Opium. But in the air, if someone's walking past you, they're probably going to think that you're wearing the Sol de Janeiro. The difference of this one, it doesn't even list caramel in it. And the Sol de Janeiro one says, you know, salted caramel, pistachio. It has like a floral element to it. And that is what the major difference is in this is I don't get anything floral from Pistachio Please. I do get floral from the Sol de Janeiro. I also don't get anything milky in the Sol de Janeiro, but I do in Pistachio Please. So they are similar. And like I said, in the air, you probably won't know a difference, but if you put your nose right up to it, you are going to smell a difference. You definitely get a more lactonic feel from this and that like smooth tonka bean that you don't get in this one. I think that the Cheriosa 62 is more tropical summery vibes. This is too, but when your nose is right up to it, it almost has more of a coziness to it that I think could also pass for like cooler weather. So I really like both of them. The other video, I will definitely tell you 2 others and one that I think is much closer of a dupe than this one. But I do really love the color of this bottle for one, and I do think it's really pretty on. So I'd say this is probably my favorite out of all of them. But that is all of my thoughts on my 4 Finery fragrances. Overall, I think it's super fun. I love when we have accessible fragrance for everyone. I know that I have budget in my name, and I say, you know, I do budget friendly and affordable, and that will always be my passion. I do own expensive fragrances and expensive clothing and not much expensive clothing, more so expensive fragrances and some expensive makeup. But I get most excited when I find really high quality, pretty things, whether it's a pretty scent or pretty makeup or whatever that is for less. And I love the accessibility for more people. So I think it's really, really fun that they do this. And I think that dupes, when it comes to fragrance, are okay if they are duping, you know, big mega powerhouse houses, brands, you know, that are making millions of dollars. If they were duping some little, you know, little bitty handmade tiny little niche brand, I wouldn't be a fan of it. But I say it's fair game when it's these big conglomerates out there. So you guys let me know if you have tried any finery. What's your favorites? Let me know if you would like me to pick up any others and review them for you. I'd be happy to do that. Leave a little comment in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching. And as always, have fun shopping, budget shopping. Bye.